Welcome, my dear friends who love picking and abandoned sailboats like stray kittens, and a warm hello to everyone who just happened to drop by my channel. Here I share the story of how I'm bringing back to life an old sailboat Vinga 87 that came to me in terrible shape. I have been working on it for months now, with the dream of turning it into my little home that I will be able to take anywhere. In the previous episodes, I stripped out the cabins, removed all the rotten mouse-eaten wood, and now I'm moving on the next step. I decided to tear down all the old insulation that covers the walls of the cabins, the saloon and the bathroom. Why? Well, first of all, it's over 40 years old and the boat had standing water inside for years, so you can imagine its condition. And second, parts of it were chewed by mice. And third, actually this one is hard to show on camera, but the smell. Especially from those last years spent side by side with mice and stagnant water mixed with motor oil. At first, I thought removing the insulation itself would be the real challenge. Oh, how wrong I was. The nightmare turned out to be the glue of such incredible quality and in such generous amounts that the next days of my life turned into endless experiments trying to figure out how to scrap it off. My god, you can't even imagine how sticky, how thick and fresh is it. I tried attachment after attachment. Ta-dam! Ta-dam! Different solvents, all kind of special anti-glue liquids to dissolve it. At the same time, I was learning how to handle tools that were new to me, like the angle grinder. Блин, он огромный. But no matter what I tried, nothing worked. It didn't remove anything at all, it just smeared the glue around the edges. Deep down, I knew. Technically, I could just leave the glue. A new layer of insulation will go on top anyway. Honestly, I just really wanted to see smooth, clean walls ready for fresh insulation. But at some point, you realize some fights aren't worth your whole life. You have to compromise, close the chapter and move on, otherwise you'll get stuck forever. So here's what I did. I scraped out the glue where it was in bad shape, dirty and foamy, and the rest I decided to seal with a thin Baldur's fill while I sand the bulkheads and the floor. And once I get the new rolls of insulation, I'll coat the hull sides with fresh glue and lay the new insulation right over the old layer. That was my plan.
Готов увидеть очередную жесть. Это мы в спальне, над нами штурвал. И вот я хотела снять утеплитель, но он не снимается, потому что он снимается вместе с деревяшкой. Ну и вот она, эта дырка.
Alright guys, I won't torture you any longer with footage of me tearing out the insulation. I'll just say that after a couple of days I got it all done, and as soon as I finished I realized I just couldn't dig through that mess and mouse shit any longer, and it was finally time to do something I'd been wanting to do for a long time. The next day I was sitting there even afraid to start my next step, because I'm about to show you what can happen if you are not careful with this tool.
Представляете, это вот вода сделала, вот эта вот мойка.
I had absolutely no idea how to handle the pressure washer, but I watched a few more videos and decided to just start as usual, slowly and carefully. If you are new to my channel, please don't be scared. This boat spent a long time sitting on land filled with water, and in some places the wiring was not only destroyed by water but also chewed by mice, so of course all the electrics here will have to be replaced completely. Such a beautiful morning, it's so fresh, and I have a huge to-do list, but I want to begin this beautiful day with my favorite part. I want to thank my patrons from Patreon, who helps me a lot to push this project on. I write down the names of my patrons here on the wall, which is on the plain side. It is always visible, and I have a plan in my mind how to make your names more beautiful in the nearest future, but right now I'm just writing them down with my pen. And of course, thank you to everyone who supports me through PayPal. Your contribution plays a huge role in this project.
Хотите, я покажу вам, что я нашла на улице? На улице нашла и с улицы забрала.
Life's been pretty generous to me, but not so generous as to leave toolboxes full of tools lying around on the street. Still, I picked up this empty case because it's perfect for my new angle grinder, which only came in a cardboard box. By the way, is it normal for you guys to rescue things off the street? Or kind of not really? I cleaned the boat so well with Kercher that you'd think I could move on to the floor timbers and keel bolts next, but all the dirt from the hull, ceiling and shelves ended up right here. And that could only mean one thing: I had to dive back to the bottom. Fortunately, I hope this is the last spot in the boat that's this messy. I'm almost done dealing with all the nasty gunk.
Вот так, так, здесь, вот так.
So, the keel bolts turned out to be in great shape, but the floor timbers, well, not so much. We'll get back to those later, but right now I wanted to deal with the floor. The gel coat was cracked everywhere, so I decided to strip it off and lay down a fresh layer. But once I pulled the coating away, I found the floor full of deep cracks, packed with years of dirt.
You don't have to tell me anything that's new.
Sure, I could just cover it all with a thick layer of gel coat and pretend it didn't exist. But I already love my boat. In my mind, she's my future home, and there's no way I could walk on that floor knowing I had done it half-heartedly.
Well, I like to see the shape you.
So I grabbed these two tools and started chipping away piece by piece at that cracked block of old epoxy. And pretty quickly I realized, oh wow, this is going to take way longer than I thought. But sitting there with my chisel, I kept telling myself, it's worth it. However long it takes, I will be so happy once all these cracks are cleaned out, dried and filled with fresh filler. So I just kept going.
Can see.
Then, one day, the noise I was making drew a few people onto my boat.
Taj što je plovio. Vidi.
One of them I knew from the yard. Sometimes he comes on my boat just to say hi, and the other two were from different service nearby. They watched me stubbornly scraping away, and they were so moved by the effort that they offered me a gift. A set of 2 buckets of amazing marine filler. They said they use it all the time on boats, and they wanted to help me out with a small gesture. So later, when I had finished clearing the cracks, one of them came back and showed me how to mix and spread it, and helped me cover the whole floor with a fresh coat. And I love it so much. It's non-toxic, no nasty smell. It sets fast, it's super strong, but still a little flexible. Perfect. So to you guys from the yard next door, if you're watching this, thank you again. That was a generous and much needed gift. И с мячиком тут лежит. And now it was time to tackle the floor timbers. I don't even know what can rot when we are talking about plastic and fiberglass, but the way mine looked, something definitely had. So I scrapped off everything that could be scrapped, cleaned it up, and reshaped the timbers. At that point, I couldn't resist. I went out, bought a can of epoxy primer and coated this section, just so at least something on my boat could finally start looking white and clean. And now when I look at my floor, I know the blue filler still needs sanding, leveling and then primer and paint. The bilge will need more paint too, but even now I'm just happy that finally, little by little, parts of my boat are beginning to look fresh and renewed. Dear friends, I'm so happy that in the next video, just a week from now, we'll meet again right here on my boat. Starting next week, we'll be moving through this project together. I'll show you exactly where I am right now and what am I working on this September. I can't wait to see you there next weekend. Thank you so much for watching this episode and for staying with me. Take care and see you soon.